Hello students, welcome to the session. In this video we will see what is protection, what are the requirements of protection, what are the various ways by which the processor will provide the protection for the data and the system. So first of all, what is the requirement or why we need the protection? When we are executing a system with multiple operation executed parallelly or multitasking system, then multiple programs may try to access same memory location, and at the same time they may try to update the contents of same memory location. Now while updating the contents of any memory location, there should be a sequence of updation and only one process should update the data, so that there will be a valid content, and based on the valid content second process will update the data. So problem arises when multitasking operating system or multi-user system attempt to read and change the contents of a memory location at the same time. So execution time is same, updation request is for the same memory location, but the processes are different. This section of program must be protected by other tasks until the operation must be complete. So in this case we have to protect data, we have to protect program while being updated by some another program or some another task. Protection which isolate and protect user programs from each other and operating system. So we can use the protection mechanism which will isolate the programs or the data of user and the other processes from the operating system. By using protection we are isolating all the processes. They will be executed parallelly, but they will be executed in different privilege levels, or they will be executed in different memory locations. Now what is the privilege level? There are 4 privilege levels which defines the priority, at what level a process is executing and what are the access permissions. So for that we have privilege level. This is the access permission level. 0 is the highest, numerically 0 is lowest, but level 0 is the highest privilege where operating system kernel executes. So operating system kernel is having all the permissions. It can update any memory location, it can execute any instruction, it can execute any code, or it can exit or it can block any code. Whereas the lowest one is level 3, where user applications or the programs which are not part of operating system but they are executed for user are running. So the level 3 numerically it is highest, but level 3, that is the priority level, privilege level 3, is lowest. So there are 2 bits values 00, 01, 10 and 11, highest to lowest. By using these privilege levels we provide some permissions to program for execution. Now how the privilege levels are used? It is required to prevent the users from interfering with one another. So in case of multi-user system, one user should not interfere with the program of another user or with the application of another user. So we can restrict that interference by using privilege level. We can prevent users from examining secure data. So if any data is secure and if it is related to only operating system or the kernel, then it should not be accessible to the user. So we can prevent that examination of the secure data by using privilege level. Then we can prevent program bugs from damaging other programs. So when we are executing multiple programs parallelly, and if in any program there is a bug, then it should not affect the execution of another program, or it should not damage the files of another program. Third, we can prevent program from damaging the data. So again we can use privilege level and we can check whether it is permitted to access the content or not. Third, we can prevent malicious attempts to compromise system integrity. So some attacks may be there on the data or on the system, and those attacks may be prevented from being compromising the integrity of system. And last one, accidental damage to data. So by using privilege level, these damages we can prevent, and we can prevent data or the program being affected by some another program. How these privilege levels are used for the protection. The microprocessor continuously checks the application for three different cases, and these three cases or three types are: type 1, whether execute that program is executing certain instruction. So there are some instructions which are privileged, and the processor will check whether the program is trying to execute that privileged instruction. So privileged instruction is the instruction which is accessible only to the kernel or to the system, but not to the user. Second, it will check whether it is referring data which is not its own data. So a program is trying to access data of some another program or some another user. And third, type 3, the transfer of control to code other than its own. That means there is a jump to the program or section of program which is external to the current application or current process. So in that case also, the processor can restrict the jump to the some program code by using privilege level. These three checkings are done continuously by the processor, and by checking all these conditions, processor decides whether to continue the execution or to stop the execution of that program. To manage this, every segment has a privilege level called as a DPL. So whenever we are executing program, processor monitors it by using the privilege value. That privilege value is called as a DPL, which is applicable to each segment, and that segment's privilege level is checked by processor for the three conditions. To define the privilege level, that is DPL, the bit values are there: 2 bits, 45 and 46 bit. In the segment we have that bits, the values will be 0 or 1. So it may be 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. That is the highest to lowest. Next, the descriptor privilege level, what it is? It is applicable to entire segment. The privilege level is defined in the segment descriptor. The segment descriptor is the 64-bit descriptor which has values. The values are for segment address, offset values, some flags, some privilege levels, some access bits, and some values are undefined or predefined, which are not changeable. The privilege level of the code segment is called as a current privilege level. So this is the second privilege level. First is DPL, second is CPL. Now we will see the all three types. The first one is, first privilege checking is whether the program is trying to execute privileged instructions. So execution of instructions which are privileged. So there are three sets for the instructions which are privileged. First one is segment and protection based, in which the instructions are HLT, halt, CLTS, clear, then LGDT, load global descriptor table, LIDT, LLDT, LTR, load task register, moving data to control, debug and test register. Moving data to register means copying to the register, that is changing or updating the register values. Second is interrupt flag based, clear interrupt, set interrupt, in out and INS outs. And third one is peripheral IO based. Peripherals are the external memory locations or devices which are used for in and out operation. So in all these cases, the instructions are privileged instructions and they are executable only at highest privilege level. It should not be executed by the application which is at privilege level 3. First two types of privilege instructions can be executed only at CPL equal to 0. That is, these instructions can be in code segment with DPL equal to 0. So both values, that is CPL and DPL, should be 0. That is the highest privilege level is required to execute the first two types, segment and protection based, and second is interrupt flag based. Peripheral IO based instructions can be executed at CPL equal to 1 or CPL equal to 2. The IO instructions, the third type in the peripheral IO based. The IO based privilege instructions can be executed only if CPL is less than equal to IOPL in E flag register. So here the condition is CPL should be less than or equal to IOPL, input output privilege level. To add the security, the POP-F and POP-FD instructions which load values into flag shall not be touch the IOPL bit or IF bit if CPL is greater than 0. So when we execute a instruction where CPL is greater than 0, in that case the IF bit or IOPL bit should not be updated or changed by the pop function popf or popfd. Second type checking is whether it is referring some another data segment, so reference data other than its own. The program should be restricted from accessing the data which is not allocated or which is not allowed to access for that program. If it is accessing the data of another program, then it should be restricted. Load a selector into DS, FH, GS, ES if max RPL, CPL is less than equal to DPL. R is requester, the program who is requesting the data access. CPL, code privilege level, it should be less than equal to descriptor privilege level. If RPL is there and if it is used, then RPL may become your privilege levels. So requester privilege level may be less and it will weak the privilege level value. Load a descriptor into stack if DPL equal to CPL. So in first case what we do, if max RPL, CPL is less than equal to DPL, load the selector in data segments, and if it is DPL equal to CPL, then load descriptor into stack. In first case we use segments, in second case we use stack. Third checking, that is the privilege checking for control of transfer. So when we are jumping from one segment to another segment, the second segment where we are jumping, it should be in the same code, it should not be outside the code part, then only we can jump to that particular instruction. So transfer control to code other than its own, essentially load a new selector into CS register. When we want to jump to some another code, first we need to check whether the instruction or the segment where we are jumping is at the same privilege level. If it is at same privilege level, whether it is in same code. If it is in same code, then only jump. If it is outside the code or if the privilege level is high, then we cannot access it. Jump across code segments with same DPL. So the condition is if DPL is same in the both cases, from where we have to jump and where we want to jump, then only we can jump to the code segment. So there are two jump instructions or jump conditions. First JMP or second is call instruction.